what is Baze?
So Baze is a video streaming platform primarily designed for mobile. And with Baze, we basically want to offer content to Kenyans. We are saying Baze, we want to position Baze as a home of best local content. And on Baze, we want consumers to come and find content that entertains them, that informs them, that motivates them, then of course inspires them. And a session like this, Baze Creators Garage, is actually content that's available on Baze where people can go and watch and be uplifted and learn from other content creators that have gone ahead and succeeded and actually get something from it.
Welcome to episode 3 of the Baze Creators Garage. Oh, feel the exciters in the building, man. I am super excited to be with each and every single one of you. And you know how we do here at the Baze Creators Garage? Don't be greedy, share with the needy. So take this link. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. Take the link and share. Share it all over, because today's conversation, and you know how we do. Those of you who are regulars, you know how we do. Today's conversation is going to be motto. So let me see them fire emojis. We're going to be talking about the art of content creation. We're going to be talking about the art of content creation. And it's only right for me to start like this by showing you what happens behind the scenes. So come here with me. I want to introduce you to the team. Right here, we've got the technical director. We've got that technical director, and he's the one who ensures that the flow. You saw those ads that you watched? You saw that montage that you watched? This man right here. You see this microphone? Cameraman, microphone. I'm taking you behind the scene, guys. This microphone, this earpiece. The director right here is going to be speaking in my ear, letting me know about all your questions and all the different things. She's the one who runs the show. Next up, graphics. This guy is, as he told me, the character generator. He's the one who ensures that this amazing characters that you're seeing on the screen is going down. Behind the scenes of what goes down at the Baze Creators Garage. Last but definitely not least, we've got Mr. Ale, and Mr. Ale is on the sound. So if you can't hear us, it's all on Mr. Ale. So guys, today's conversation is going to be motto. It's going to be hot. It's going to be fire. We're going to be talking about the art of content creation. We've got our own hashtag. And the hashtag is Tukutane Baze. As you can see, this is not pre-recorded. To call live and direct coming. There's a whole other team in there that is checking and ensuring that the live stream is happening. And so it takes this whole team to ensure that a show like this happens. But if you guys are catching us on episode 3, you've missed out on quite a lot. Episode 1 was fire. We had Sharon Mundia, Eric Omondi, and a whole bunch. King Kaka, to name but a few. Episode 2 was even more fire. We had BN, we had Faki, and a whole other bunch of guys. So, but I'm going to be nice to you guys. I'm going to let you guys see what went down in episode 2. So, check this out. Quite a number of content creators had put together projects, and Netflix actually came knocking.
We realized we actually needed to have something. Like Faki said, he did a film, and then when the opportunity came, he had something to show. So we went ahead and produced. And I usually say we were either very stupid or smart.
COVID has really taught all of us as an industry is that we need to diversify our business portfolio. Because I think we were very comfortable in the beginning.
My thinking at the moment was, so how do I continue telling my stories in the same space that I've been, but try and work with the space that I find myself, the conditions that we're working with.
And even as we grow now, to not only get money from corporate, but also to involve the fans, because the fans now also need to understand that this is a concert like any other.
Our target taxpayers are anybody who makes money online.
Some of these taxes, there's duplication, but no one talks about this. That was fire, eh? That conversation was on point like a finger, on point like a decimal. Listen, if you missed episode 2, don't worry. It's on the Baze platform. All you have to do is *544 *55#. That's all you have to do to be able to watch that episode. But today, we've got a bongela panelist. In fact, Mr. Cameraman, let's see them. Unaona Kinta Kunte hapo na yoka suit. Again, Mugash. We've got Flacco in the building. We've got Liz. We've got Wahoo. Hey, this conversation for today is going to be fire. Remember, the hashtag is Tukutane Baze, hashtag 22QK, *544, *55 hash. Don't be greedy. Share with the needy. Take this link. Cameraman Ukuja. There's more of a team here. Hey, almost cropped there. There's more of a team here that shows you what goes down. As you can see, different guys. There's that camera, which I'm going to switch on to. So, guys, this is a little bit about what happens behind the scenes. This is the team that is involved in ensuring that the Baze Creators Garage happens, that we bring this value to you. But that's not all that you need. You don't need all this big equipment to be able to create content. The new school way of creating content is with this gadget right here. And our panelists are going to be having a conversation about the art of content creation. And we're going to be breaking down what does it take to create music? What does it take to create this video content? So, are you guys excited? If you've got any questions that you have, remember the hashtag is TukutaneBaze. So, on Twitter, ask your questions, as well as on YouTube. In the comment section, be sure to ask your question. I'm talking too much. My name is Richard Njau. I am a digital enabler. Welcome to the Baze Creators Garage. Welcome back to the Baze Creators Garage. As you can see, I am on the hot seat. Excited to bring this conversation to you. But just hold on, man. There's one guy who seems to be missing from my place. Where's Mugash?
I'm here. Don't worry. Are we well? Are we fine? Wow.
Kunta Kinte has entered the building. Shaka Zulu is in the building. Anyway, guys, the conversation for today is going to be on fire. We're going to be talking about the art of content creation. We're going to be breaking down what does it take and how do we go about making content. So, again, I'm going to say, I am your host, but you guys co-host with me. Those of you who are dropping fire emojis, you know how we do when we do what we do. So simply go to the comment section. Whatever question that you may have for my panelists, I will be sure to get your questions and I will feed it to them. I will ask it on your behalf. If you're on different platforms, let's say, for example, you're on Twitter, the hashtag is TukutaneBaze. So let me first and foremost introduce my Bongela panel. First and foremost, you've got Kunta Kinte. Hey, by the way, Mugash, those threads are... Anyway, we've got Mugambi Thiga, my boy, my brother from another mother. And listen to this guys. Mugambi is an actor. He is a writer and a director on stage and screen. He played a role in the celebrated Kenyan film Nairobi Half-Life and Stories of Our Lives in 2015. He is the co-writer of the award-winning films such as Kati Kati, Supermodo, and he directed Lusala, which premiered at the Nairobi Film Festival and Rotterdam Film Festival in February 2020. Welcome, right. Mugambi.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Just first of all, Jebu, explain those clad, bana.
But I've been at home for so long because of lockdown, and this stuff was just rotting in the wardrobe. If God forbid, ningekufa kesho. The last thing I would be like, ningevaa hiyo kitu kabla nife, so I'm wearing it today. Yes.
Next up, we've got the lady in the building, none other than Wahoo. 5 emojis, guys, them 5 emojis. Now listen to this. Wahoo mirrors a generation of strong African women who have risen to take their place as societal leaders and influencer. Her career as a musician also spans over 20 plus years. Rewind selector, come again. Over 20 plus years in which she has made herself as a household name, as a pioneer in contemporary Kenyan pop, and as a positive role model to young women and girls. That's not it. She was also the first Kenyan to win an MTV Mama Award in 2008 and has also won several other local and regional awards. 5 emoji for Wahoo.
Thank you.
You know, when Wahoo came, man, I went to give her a hug. She was like, listen, homie, don't touch the makeup. Just putting it. Next up, tukona Erastus. aka Ayeko, aka Otieno, aka Flaco, aka Raz, aka Mama Otis, who is literally the content creator of many faces. He is an exceptional musician and versatile actor. His creative muzzle has led him to be one of the best content creators in the country and a producer that goes further to completing the craft of the ideas into finished videos. He is also the winner of the 2020 African Digital Influencer Award, Disruptor of the Year, and Influencer of the Year. Makofi, 5 emojis for Flaco, aka Mama Otis, aka Erastus. Okay, guys, I've been. Today's conversation is going to be motto, guys, but also it's going to be of such value to you who's watching us for wherever it is that you may be watching us. And the conversation is the art of content creation. So enough jokes, let's get straight into this. So I'm going to start with you, Mugash.
Yeah.
Now, Mugash, you've written for film. You've written for ads. You've been in the agency world and you've written ads. Mm-hmm. You've written for movies like Katikati and Lusala. Your pen game is on point. So what would you say are the differences when writing for these different forms of content?
Yeah. So the difference is, of course, the media. You're thinking about how people are going to be interacting with their work, and you want to make sure that their experience of that work is maximized as much as possible. Mm-hmm. You also want to think about the headspace they're in and the location that they're in. So, for instance, if you're writing a play, you know that they're going to be seated in a theater and they're going to be watching people on a stage.
Yeah.
And you're restricted to that. Not just restricted, but you have a lot of freedom. Mm-hmm. If you're writing a commercial has probably interrupted their time. Mm-hmm. They want to skip ad or they want to get on to the next thing. And so you have to work a little bit harder to get their attention. A film, you have a bit of time for them to sit down and interact with everything. Mm-hmm. As much as it's a good question to ask what's different about them, I think the more important question is what's similar about them.
I see what you did.
Yeah,
you just took my question and
I apologize.
decided to throw yours in.
I apologize.
Okay, but that's actually a good point. Okay, then what's similar about these different forms of content? I'm talking about ad, film, TV.
And if we're even to expand it, we're talking about songs, we're talking about TikToks, we're talking about anything going from just a few seconds to a couple of hours.
To a CTA.
Yes, to several hours.
Long content, yes.
It all comes down to a story. That's it. That's the thing that all of them have in common.
Okay.
Yeah.
So have it be what Flaco is doing, have it be what Wahoo is doing, have it even be this show.
Yes.
It's a story that's
a story.
Okay, so how would you define then a story?
A story is simply you introducing someone that we are going to root for, and that someone doesn't even have to be a human being.
Just first of all, pull your mic a little bit. There's a pop.
Is there?
Okay, that's
better?
Cool.
Okay.
I'll move it away from your mouth, sorry.
Away?
Yeah,
it's away now.
Pull
like
it out.
That?
Yes, that's better.
All right.
Yeah.
Amerudi, sorry.
Okay.
So you have someone at the center of a story, a character that you're rooting for. And this person doesn't have to be a human character. Mm-hmm. If you've seen WALL-E, if you've seen Lion King, you are rooting for a robot. You're rooting for a lion. It's just...
Mansivenya.
Yes. Now that Nasivenya, why is it that sticks in your head? Because you're being told a story about the circle of life. You're being told a story about love between two machines in WALL-E. These are just examples off the top of my head. But you have to have someone at the center of it who we want to root for, someone that we want to support. They're going on a journey to discover something or to get something, and we are rooting for them. Along the journey, they meet things that present some opposition, and then they find a way to get through the opposition and they get what they want, or even more important, they get the thing that they needed, not necessarily the thing that they wanted. That's a story. That's the beginning, the middle, the end. Introduce someone, introduce some complications as they try to get something.
Yeah.
They get their thing and you feel all happy at the end. Nice happy ending. That's a resolution. That's a story.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, even a song, even...
Wahoo, is that, is he right?
Pretty much.
It's story. Flaco?
Yeah.
Story.
Yeah.
So, first of all, by the way, guys, remember, you can ask your questions in the comment section and hashtag Tukutane Baze. So, Mugash, what you're trying to say is the beginning part of this whole content creation thing is what is the story that you want to tell?
Yes.
Okay.
What do you want to say? That's it. Yeah.
Is there okay, let me just dwell before who I'm coming to you right now. I just want to dig deep and get a little bit more information about this story. In the body, because I heard you say there's a beginning, there's a middle, and there's an end. What happens a lot in this body section?
It's simply, so like I said, you have to establish really quickly what this person wants. I'll give an excellent example. And Wahoo, I'm sorry to Nini. Liar the song Liar, came out a long time ago, sitaki
long
kusema
time
lini,
ago.
but then she was able many years later to come up with a sequel to that very same thing called Still a Liar. Why is it that the story would stick the first and the second time? Because you had a protagonist, the person that you're rooting for, complaining about this person that's always telling them lies. How do you... Guy. Vunja nyumba za watu hapa kwa YouTube. So she's talking about wanting to out this liar. And the thing that she's finding various ways to say how she wants to out this person. And this person is like, how can you be sure? And she's like, no, wait, I still have something to tell you. That's what keeps you going.
I love it.
They just want to get that thing over and over, and the opposition keeps coming, but they keep insisting that they want that thing.
Yeah.
That's the basics of a story.
Okay, and so therefore then the outro is the conclusion of all of these things.
Yes.
Or the, yes, man.
Yes. They
Don't
got what they wanted. The lion becomes the king. Yeah. Wally finds love.
Yep.
Wahoo is able to call out the liar. And when she wins, all of us win.
Guys,
Just clap.
the guy has already started by dropping such value by storytelling. It's all in the storytelling.
That's storytelling.
Okay, Wahoo. Now, hey, Wahoo, when it comes to the music industry, few have been able to do what it is that you do when it comes to the hit songs. Few have been able to switch genres. I'm talking about gospel, secular, gospel again. Few have been able to stick and be there for as long as that you've been, for the years, and transcend the generations and have kids. The guys who used to dance to you as kids, now their kids are dancing to you. Now, my question to you is this. How has content creation evolved over the years? First of all, 5 emojis for that, man. Put some respect on her name, man.
Cross-generational relevance.
Hey, that is crazy. Yeah, so first and foremost, how has content creation evolved over the years? And what's the secret to remaining relevant over, not the years, for you, we use words like decades.
Guy, you know, when you say decades now, I feel like I'm 80. And yet I'm 18. 18, guys, that's the story we are going with, is I'm 18.
Wow. So let's talk about, the content creation.
I think what I can say is when we started off back then at the turn of the... It was the turn of the century. Millennium. Turn of the millennium.
So I would say 1989.
Were you born?
That was an idea.
You are not.
There's a story.
You are a prayer item.
A suggestion.
You know, around 2000, or just before is when we started.
1999, 2000.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had started just before that, yeah. But what needed to happen around then is you needed to be like a walking industry. What can I call it? You're everything. You're
360.
360. Unafanya kila kitu. You're the songwriter, you're the performer, you're the makeup artist, you're the wardrobe manager, you're the everything. You had to be able, and if you were not able to do that, then you didn't stand too much of a chance. You get what we had working for us at that time was goodwill. There was a spotlight on Kenyan content. Around about the same time, remember we came up. Ridiculous was a vibe. Ridiculous was a vibe. You know, people were
Ridiculous, for those who may not know, were the Flaco's grandparents.
In the art form.
Exactly. So there was a lot of attention on what it is that Kenyans have to offer to Kenyans. So we were fortunate, and then FMs had just begun to blow up. So we were not necessarily, they were asking us for content.
Okay, that's a good question. So then what kind of, now I want to understand more of your content creation with all this in mind. I love that you've painted an example of what was happening. FM stations, there are not that too many people. So when you were entering the studio, Wahoo, what were you looking to create and how are you going about that?
I'll just say exactly what he said. It's a story. I want to present my art in song. And I had to think about it with the end. It's the same thing he's saying. It's a story. I have to be able to communicate something. I have to not just communicate something, evoke an emotion or two. If I can evoke multiple emotions, great. You know, that's what I was thinking about when you were talking about the art of storytelling. At some point, your heart, then you're happy, and then you know when you're able to connect with your audience in that way, laugh, like maybe evoke happiness and joy. You know, if you're able to evoke that, then you're getting somewhere. People need to connect with your content. So even before I get into the studio, I have to think, is what I'm creating now going to connect
I love
emotionally?
that. Evoke. What kind of emotions were you looking like? Give us a song at that time.
So I'll say, let me take City Shiki.
Eh, that was a vibe. That was a
Now
vibe.
he's on here as
Zako.
Hey.
Hey.
For me, I wanted women to feel empowered. I wanted
Nice.
them to feel, we got this. We don't need guys to buy us things. We don't need guys. We don't need to sleep with men to do whatever. Like me, I can make my own cheddar. I can make my own. In fact, I'll take you out. No, you don't have to take me out. I wanted women to feel that way.
I love it. So
Yeah.
Wow.
And was that because at the time, I'm thinking Destiny's Child, Bills. Was that part of the influence that was now?
That was a major influence. Of course, Destiny's Child was a vibe, and I'm like, I like what they make me feel. They make me, I'm a survivor, I'm gonna make it. I'm like, yes, I am, even though I've not yet made it. I'm gonna make it. So I wanted to give women the same vibe. And also, I am that kind of person anyway. So it was a tie-in with who I am. The emotion I wanted to evoke in especially women, and then you need to have a hook. What will people do? What will people remember about the song? Which part of the song will people remember?
Yes.
When they're at home, shower, we're in the mathri, So I have to think like, oh, mama. Even if you won't hit the whole song, that's simple that people can remember.
What I'm hearing you say is that you intentionally sought out to do the hook. So when us guys are at home saying, dun, dun, that's very calculated.
Yeah. Extremely calculated. Only later on is when I could put a word to it. Then we weren't sure what we were doing, but I knew because I had listened to other songs that had hooks. I'm like, there's a part in the song that sticks out for me. Wow. So I have to find a part in my song that people will remember. So that was very calculated. And I remember at the time we were creating also for performance. Yeah. You have to think about how will I connect with the audience when I'm on stage. So I want to be able to say, oh, mama, and people say, what am I gonna do?
It works. Never forgotten. Never forgotten.
Okay, who you 5 emojis, guys. This Chile is dropping value after value. I've had her say emotional connection. Thinking about, first of all, Mugasha started with the storytelling. I've had Wahu say emotional connection. I've had Wahu say hook. I've had her even think about creating the content with the end in mind. So she's seen herself performing that song. That's all thought out. So there was a strategy then in your music. It's not that you now.
There was a strategy that didn't always work, but there was a strategy nonetheless. And when it didn't work, you take your lessons. You say, okay, why didn't that not
work? Is there ever a time it didn't work?
Of
I think
course.
everything you've done
maybe
has
there are
worked.
songs which we don't know.
Maybe.
Okay, guys, let's move on. There's too much happening in today's show. Remember your questions, comment section, hashtag Tukutane Baze. Next up, Erastus, a.k.a. Flacco. Okay, let me stick to Flacco, but let me not lie. You've taken Kenya by storm. Yani Mama Otis has taken... And the thing about Mama Otis, a lot of people can relate with that. A lot of people look at her and just think, hey, that's just my mom. Okay, so Flacco, Yani, from here, you're the youngest. But you have excelled in ways that few of us have. My question is, how did this all start? Just walk us through this whole process.
First of all, I used to do music. But sasa, I was at a time when so many people are doing music. So Nico like, I do good music, but sasa, how do I penya kwa the industry? Because I know I'm a creator, right? I'm an entertainer, not just a comedian. So at that time, nilikuwa nafanya music, but sasa Nico like, what is going to push me as an entertainer? Nikaanza kuangalia like, what else do I have? Can I do comedy? Acha nijaribu tu. That time nilikuwa na phone flani, WhatsApp contact. So I was recording myself, nasema a few funny things, then narusha pale WhatsApp, na ngoja, guy, am I funny or not? So that is the time nilianza kufanya comedy actually. So I started with the Mama Otis character. So Mama Otis is a character, I didn't know it will be as big as it is right now. It was just something I picked, like, let me try the mom characters, because sioni comedians wanafanya the mom character, right? So one thing I realized that people love about Mama Otis is because people relate with moms, right? So that is the time nika create the mom character.
How did you? First of all, there's something that you've said that I want to stop you because I want the audience to get the pointers. So you were fast and you've just dropped nuggets, bro, and you're just dropping them thinking they're not. You were using what you had.
Yeah.
We're not talking about you using these cameras that we're using.
Yeah.
You are using a phone. That's what I'm hearing you say.
A very cheap phone.
A cheap phone, I like
Very
it.
cheap phone.
But secondly, I'm hearing you saying you were doing market research.
Yeah.
You are throwing this content of yours into a WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
So you didn't start by putting it where we are seeing now.
Yeah. I was actually trying to challenge myself at that point. Like, what do people think about this content? So, what started happening is, people started sambazaring the content kwa WhatsApp. Nika realize, I was in Kisumu at that time. Nika realize, hey, I'm becoming famous in Kisumu. Like, Ntembea supermarket. And people are like, oh, I know you. So, isn't it discussing in psych up? Like, oh my God. Like, I'm suddenly becoming famous locally. So, isn't it to push? And that's how I started developing the Mamotis character. And at that time, I was using.
Tell us a bit about the development stage. What were you looking at your mom and just grabbing notes? Or
I've lived with my mom my whole life. So my mom literally has given me content.
Royalties, IP, and we'll be talking about IP later on.
And what I came to realize is, venye mamangu yuko, most moms are like that. So definitely that makes the mom character very relatable. Yeah, so that's how I started. The mom character, it can grow. Ikafika point, now I have to start developing this.
Again, I'm going to slow you down because you're dropping nuggets and gems, bro, that I want to understand.
All right.
I've seen your edits.
Yeah.
At this time, where have you learned how to edit?
Yeah, by the
Like
I
I don't just run to the final product, bruh.
Okay.
yes, as a filmmaker, his edits, there's a thing called shot reverse and action reaction. Easy ma reaction zake. And I assume that when you're shooting, you're also shooting reactions.
Yeah,
like you're imagining the
Because when I'm
dialogue now
scripting, I have to
react.
write the reaction. Like,
What?
Okay, in fact, let's start.
That's
scripting.
amazing.
Hey, just 5 emojis. So when you're scripting, were you everything? Were you your cameraman? Were you the extras? Were you? Did you have a team?
I was everything literally. Like a camera hapa, right? Then natoke huku nyuma kwa mlango. So camera iko hapo running, then I come chasing myself. Nakimbia as mom, then I go and change. Then we get teeth, then nakuja hapo scared like, mom, unakimbia nini? Yeah, that was me back then. It was so hectic. Alafu hakukuwa na kitu nafanya. So I could do that the whole day and I was really enjoying it. Wow. Yeah.
So it would take you the whole day to shoot one.
That time when I was alone.
Yes.
It was hard, but I was really enjoying it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It came naturally.
Yeah.
Editing. Where did you learn how to edit? Or do you give somebody to edit?
University of YouTube.
Yes, absolutely.
Nilika pale naangalia like, I used to watch Vines, so I was trying to learn like, mtu anaongea, but huyu mwingine pia anaongea, like I needed to know like, how do you do that? So naingia YouTube. I used to watch, before I started doing content, mazini nilifanya research pale YouTube, then nikaanza kufanya trials. Naingia kwa studio mtu pale na mwambia, can I use your program ya editing? Then naanza kulearn, this is what I saw on YouTube, nini. Then I realized, I'm actually getting good at this. So I had a cheap camera phone, then somebody's studio. So na shoot, then I go and edit kwa studio yake. Then napatia watu, people are like, this is new. People actually loved it.
Yeah. Big up. Hey, that's just such a thing. Guys, if you've got any questions to each and every one of our panelists, please remember the ask it in the comment section of YouTube, and the hashtag is Tukutane Baze. We'll be back, Flacco, we'll be back, Wahoo. Hey! Mugash, back to you.
Yes.
Now, people are consuming content in different forms, as you can clearly see, from TikTok to YouTube to TV to radio, all these different forms. Yeah. What do these evolutions and innovation mean for content from a script writing perspective?
Hey, Buddha. Wow. Okay. Wait. Wow, that's a good question. I think it's like I said at the beginning, it's good to understand your medium. And I think the thing that Flacco did really, really well was understand what his medium was. Like you said, like you pointed out, he was doing his market research and experimenting. I tell this to everyone who comes to me for some advice about screenwriting or whatever. Whatever it is that you want to do, please understand the form. My first screenplay, I wrote in 2009. I sent it to a friend. Akanitumia notes. Notes, mingi. That thing was terrible. It was bad. I wrote it on Microsoft Word, but I still had to format it so that it looked like a screenplay. And if anyone wants to know what a screenplay looks like, just go and Google it. It's a
Go to
certain
the
font.
University of YouTube.
Go to the University
Yeah.
of YouTube.
And Google.
We didn't have YouTube back then. It was there, but it hadn't become the university that it is now.
Yeah.
And the piece of advice they gave me that I think helped the most was just watch more stuff. What is it that you want to do? Watch more of that. You want to write films? Watch more of them. You want to write music? Listen to music. And not just one genre, the one that you want. Listen across. You want to make short form stuff that you don't know where it's going to end up, but maybe you want it to look like a vine. Watch vines. All of that stuff is there. Then you'll start to understand what the conventions are. When you watch something and you expose yourself to it, you also start to learn to think like an audience member. And so you can say, okay, this person did that and it made me feel a certain way. Exactly. And now I can now add my own. Even if they're going and looking at 50 other musicians and comedians or content creators, they'll still be 51. And that means that they'll bring something new to anything. So I think the advice I can give to anyone is know your art form well. Yeah, a lot of people not doing that. You'd think it's obvious, but you'd ask someone who's an aspiring screenwriter, have you watched this film? Have you watched this film? Have you watched this film? No, I haven't. What genre do you want to write? I want to write a crime thriller. Okay, have you watched Seven? And they'll be like, no, I have not watched that one. I've not even heard of it. Then I'll be like, go back to the drawing board, watch the stuff, and then think about what new things you want to say.
Let's talk about it then from a perspective. Give us something that you have done and like just a bit of the process of what that meant.
Sure. We watched, if you've seen Supermodo, which I highly recommend, Supermodo came out a short
Go
time.
and watch Supermodo
Yes.
after this.
Please do, and it's available. But look for it, you can find it.
Yeah.
Supermodo is a superhero film.
Okay.
It's a Kenyan superhero film. It came out about the same time that Black Panther came out. When someone was writing a review for the Hollywood Reporter, they said there's 2 superhero films that have come out that are based in Africa. One is in the fictional lineage of Wakanda. Another one is in Kenya. And we shot it in Kiambu. And they said there's something about this much smaller superhero film that touched me in a way that Black Panther didn't. That was high praise. I'm saying the Hollywood Reporter is what said that.
I know.
Now the reason why we were able to now start writing a film about a superhero story was because we started imagining what would a child who watches a lot of superhero and kung fu films imagine her life would be.
Okay.
So we had to go and watch the stuff. And Likarion, the director, is a superhero nerd. Every single day of filming, he always came with a superhero comic book themed T-shirt.
Yep.
He has like several of them. And he had known from the beginning that he wanted to make a superhero film, but he wanted to do it from the perspective of someone who can't fly, who doesn't have 3D animation software at home, who has never been to another country, who just does it. Wacha nifanye kivyangu. And that became the heart and soul of Supermodo.
Ah, my God.
That's
I love
simply,
it.
it's that simple.
Mugash, there's just one last question because there's something you've mentioned, and then I'm going to ask some questions on the screen and then move over to Wahoo.
Yeah.
Is there a shift globally? And this actually is maybe even in all forms of content.
Yeah.
Is there a shift globally for a higher demand for African content?
Absolutely.
150%.
150
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
100,
Mm.
1000%.
Our stories haven't been told, and therefore this side does. Why is that happening?
Our stories have not been told by Africans.
Exactly. That's why.
Yeah.
Do you remember tukiwa watoi and you went and you met someone who was Asian? You went to them ukifanya because you thought every single person that looks like them knows martial arts.
Yes.
And now we realize no, you can't do that.
There are a billion.
There's so many of them.
Yeah.
Or how we think you can make, I can't do it, but
Yeah.
you make yourself look like them by doing your eyes like this.
Yeah.
We don't do that anymore. And that's because the world has become very conscious of stereotypes.
Yes.
And what's a stereotype if not a story that's 1% told about people that you can allow people to now say this is the story of Africa. So what was the 1% story of Africa? Poverty, crime, war, hunger.
Yeah.
And when the world starts to open up and people are becoming storytellers on their own using their phone, you start to realize, hiya, there's an Elsa Majimbo. Oh, hold on, there's a Trevor Noah. There's a Flacco. There's people who are telling stories about Africa and Africa that I've never known. And suddenly the world is interested in everything. Our music, our dress, our stories. and we're the ones, like Wahoo said, we're the ones telling the story now.
Yeah.
That's
Man,
why.
this is one of the best Baze Creators
Yeah.
Garage that we've been throwing. By the
Yeah.
way, Mugambi has acted in a Hollywood film. And I'm sure it was that same stereotype of, excuse me, no, come to the door.
Do you speak
English.
So, okay,
Yeah.
let's get some questions from the audience, because this conversation is really going hot. Are there any questions from the audience? And if so, please project them onto the screen right now. Or, okay, Wahoo, read that question.
Oh, goodness, I'm the short-sighted one.
Okay,
You
sir.
told me. I don't think there is a shortcut to this. It's a lot on the background more than what is seen at the end
Game.
At the end game. I think how open-minded we are and how hard work is what it takes to make the difference.
I fully agree. I fully agree.
All right.
Put another one right there. Hearing Flaco's, okay, put the next comment. Hearing Flaco's story just shows, sorry, I can't read.
Determination
To start.
And believe in what you want to build and put in the work. Alafu,
I love it.
Applause emojis.
Applause emojis, and also be sure to put in the fire emojis. Okay, Wahoo, let's continue. Let's go back to you. Now you've got so many hit songs, from Sweet Love, Laila, City Shiki, Nabado, even till today you're still dropping hit songs.
Yeah.
So my question is there must be a formula then to doing this, or let me ask, how do you go about not just creating a song, a hit song?
Dude, if I knew, let me tell you honestly to God, if I knew that formula, I would sell it. I'd be rich right now. Let me tell you, there's times you think you have it, you're like, hey, kitu maze watu wata, hey, wata, nini. Then it goes and people just don't feel it. You're like, Allah, maze, you guys, do you know? You feel like saying, excuse, nilienda Magadi, nikapata 4 punctures. I invested a lot of nini. You guys don't like it. Yeah, so there's no, at least not that I know, not a formula that I know, not one that is guaranteed foolproof. You just have to keep trying. I think what I've learned to
Keep
do,
trying, that's the
keep
formula.
Trying. What I've learned to do, because the first song that I did was a flop. A major, not the first, well, yeah. I've had many flops. I've had many songs that didn't see the day of light, yeah? The light of day.
The day of lights.
You know what I mean? Yeah, but I've learned to not take it personally. If it does not do well, you're allowed to feel bad because, of course, you've invested emotion and all that. But after you're done feeling bad, wake up and ask yourself, why?
Aha.
Do your groundwork and try to understand what did I do wrong so that I don't repeat it. Or at least I try to deal with that. You get what I'm saying? So that's one thing that I always do. You know, like if a song does not do well, I always look back and I ask people, what do you think? People that I know will give me genuine answers.
I love that.
Yeah. So there's no like bulletproof ati hii for sure ukifanya 1, 2, 3. No. Go with passion. Do your best, and if it does not do well, ask yourself why. And don't give up. Get up, dust yourself up, and try again.
You know, there actually is a formula, but it's not the formula.
What's the formula?
What you're talking about?
Oh, okay.
That thing of not giving up, consistency.
Yes.
But let me ask you then, have you though been in the studio and known, okay, why lie? This one is a hit. This one, watanijua. Like
me?
Yeah. Like Sweet Love.
Let me tell you, especially Sweet Love, I was not going to release that song.
What?
Really?
I was not going to release Sweet Love because I did not think it was going to do anything.
What?
For sure. My big plan for Sweet Love was, I'm going to write it, because I wrote it when I was pregnant with my firstborn, who's now 14, turning 15. Yes, I just had to throw that in. Yeah, so I wrote it when I was expecting her, and my whole idea, because remember at that time I was known as, girl power and, women independence and that sort of thing. And this song was too warm and mellow and too mushy. I'm like, yo, guys are not going to connect with me. So my plan for Sweet Love, because it came from my heart, I'm like, when this girl is 18, I'll present it to her. That was my big plan. So my husband and my producer, Arki, at the time were like, you're crazy. You have to release this song. I was like, no one's going to dance to this song in the club. No one's going to feel anything about it. Like, you guys are forgetting I'm the chick who did Liar, Kibawa, all those steps. And now here talking about love. I for sure, that was the one song I was like, this the RK pushed me, and I had the song on the radio.
Ah, yeah.
And yes, I was never going to release it.
There's you are who you're dropping too many gems as well. Also, there's some, okay, I've got some questions. Flacco, we're coming back to you. I've got some questions about this. First and foremost, you are transitioning styles. So you are transitioning producers.
Phases. I was transitioning phases in my life from being single and, you know, that sort of whatever to now I'm married and I'm a whatever. And I wasn't sure what that looks like. Yeah. Even in terms of my music, I didn't know what that looked like. You know, am I going to continue being like this? Am I, you know, now I'm a mother. I wasn't sure about that. Yeah.
So was that transition period scary? Did you feel like your career is
It was extremely scary. Completely. All I knew is I wanted to be married and to have a baby. I didn't know what that meant for my career. I had no real solid plan. You get? Yep. But here I went with it. I released the song, I listened to other people. So sometimes it also really helps to just listen to other people against your own inner gut feeling. Just listen to other people and take their advice. Because that song then changed literally, that's the song that I won the Mamas for. That's the song that took me all over. And I was like, I'm never going to release it. Yeah. Wow. So I think for me, the other thing that I've learned in this whole thing is humility. Be humble enough to listen to somebody else's advice and take it from time to time. You know, because it can be, you can think, mina jua ini art form yangu, you know, but sometimes it really helps to just listen and putting yourself in a place where genuinely listen to what this guy has, his opinion on my content.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey. I'm loving the show. I'm loving the conversation. I'm loving the gems being dropped.
Imagine that song would have chamoka in 2024.
Imagine. You've already done the math.
I've done the math.
You want fucking news, you've already done the math.
That song would have been coming out.
How? That's crazy. Flacco, I want to continue with your journey. I think it's amazing hearing this too, and then now seeing what it is that you're doing. So where we've left off with your journey is now you've started seeding this thing in WhatsApp. You're editing your own videos, but I've not yet heard you talk about this content now going onto IG and you blowing up. So tell us, I mean, you're blowing up in Kisumu.
Yeah.
Continue with that journey now. So what happens after that?
So I'm blowing up in Kisumu, right? The content is really circulating in Kisumu WhatsApp groups, but it was taking a long time. Like, how does this content now, how can it be consumed countrywide?
So you wanted growth?
Yeah. And I opened my Instagram account, but I was very positive about this content. My very first post on Instagram is, today, I wrote something about today, nafungwa my Instagram account, I'm at, 7 followers, right? Wow. But this is a journey, something like that. I was very positive and I was nilikuwa najipa moyo, right? So, nimefungwa Instagram account, now I want to take my content countrywide.
Flacco to the world.
Yeah, Flacco to the world. So, nimekaa pale, nimepost a few videos, but haziendi, videos haziendi.
Views nada.
People like, nashangaa kwani, okay, Kisumu tu ndio wananipenda, but they wanapenda the content, but sasa the country, I feel what's happening. Nikaangalia like, now, what strategy do I have here? Nikaangalia, nikaona, people who can help me ni celebrities. Nikatry kwa DM, wapi? Watu wafungui DM, watu wasomi. Nikaangalia the best way is
Ata calligraph na BM.
Yeah. So your time, you know, it's at this point I understand them because there are so many people DMing them. So nikaangalia hapa nitafanya nini?
You understand?
Now let me mock these celebrities. let me start doing videos in a mock celebrities, making fun of them here and there, alafu wazione. Because I didn't see anybody doing it that much at that time. Because ilikuwa kina ridiculous wanafanya za politicians. Let me try some artists to get their attention or repost. A few times on a repost hivi, views mean a letter mama Otis. Like nilikuwa nisha make your calculation.
Oh my, it was that calculated.
Yeah, I was trying to sell mama Otis through my celeb people. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I did the first video, Ekodida praying. Hey, Kenyans are like, hey, we love this because people connect with celebrities.
Yeah.
Right. Then you go, okay, now let me try calligraph praying, right? The first video calligraph praying. Hiyo time imeenda viral. Mimi nasukuma mmotis pale. That is what I was using. Nafungwa hivi njia push Motis.
That is
That
smart.
is so,
That is
man.
smart. That is clever.
Flacco, the reason why I keep
hey.
interjecting you is because you drop gems, and I want somebody who's at home to understand your story is not just a story, but it's a story with a lot of value.
Yeah.
First and foremost, what I'm getting from your story is it's not your first song that you brought out to the public.
Yeah.
There's a sample size that you had that you tested with,
Yeah.
and that's the Kisumu market.
Yeah.
So you are sending that in WhatsApp even before it going public.
Yeah.
Then number two, I'm hearing you leveraging on collabos.
Yeah.
And when they are not opening, you bust the door through. You see?
Yeah, kick the door open.
But that collabo was so that you can bring your main character, Mama Otis,
Yeah.
to be seen.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your first viral video. How did that feel? How did that happen?
Hey, that time it was the serious viral video ilikuwa the calligraph praying video. That is the time I came to Nairobi and go like, within 1 week, I'm so famous. Like, hey, when the OG praying, close your eyes. I was like,
Ebu fanye sahi, ebu pray.
I was like, when the OG is praying, close your eyes. Hey, people are like, hey, Nico, like, this is how fame feels like. Allah. Hey, that made me so happy, and that just kept me going.
Good. Another question. Hey, guys, 5 emojis. Now,
Yeah.
you've talked about introducing of new characters.
Yeah.
So, what is it that you do to come out with an outrage sprain? You get? What's the research? How do you bring calligraph to the people?
I was actually trying whether I can do voices. Because I did people like, okay, that was kind of on point. You can improve. I tried calligraph. People are like, oh, yeah, okay. So I've been improving. Naenda na kadao na watch calligraph. Nico like, okay, I can't talk exactly like calligraph, but I can talk the way he sings. Because calligraph doesn't talk like that. Because at Bien, I had to sit down and nikaanza to watch Bien. That time I was watching how Bien anaongea. Like, oh, okay, you have to drag it like this. So I was always practicing like how do I do Bien? It started from Tiki so say Tiki in is so say. You have to do it like that. Yeah, so that's how I started learning how to do different voices.
Yes. Bahati.
But he doesn't speak the way I speak, but I exaggerate the way like it's kinda like sound now. Now I make it look ridiculous.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, actually.
And okay, now let's even move away from just voice.
Yeah.
Now, what about the look? What about the because you're a full package when you do calligraph. You put paddings.
Yeah.
You know what? So, what tools are you using? Do you have money at this time? Explain more of the content creation from an outward perspective.
Actually, what I normally do is I pick something like a feature people know, and then I exaggerate it in a way that makes it look that is funny. Because if calligraph ningeifanya, if I do a calligraph, you know, people, it's comedy at the end of the day. So ingekuwa nafanya calligraph with even arms na chest. That's not funny. But if you nieke viatu hapa, people are like, hey, is that shoes? Yeah, that is probably calligraph. I'm a loaf of bread. Yeah, that'll be funny.
Yeah.
So even visually, you wanted to stimulate people.
Yeah. So as much as at money, even if money comes in, I can't take away. So money has come in. So nichukue nieke bricks, chest ziko hivi. No, I have to keep it authentic and still make it look like
The old
low budget.
Because that's what
low budget.
That's
Keeping it
what
low
people
budget.
Oh,
connect.
That's
man.
what people call it.
Yeah.
Bugas, we're about to come to you. We're about to come to your questions, guys. But there's something that you have said there that is so huge.
Yeah.
Despite there being an increase in revenue and you can buy whatever cameras that you want, it is intentional that you have kept the quality looking like that.
Yeah.
Why?
I feel like I've tried improving the quality kabisa. There are videos that I can do yenye ziko very high quality, like when I'm doing a series. But kuna hizi short skits, I can't do it that high quality because I've tried. I tried that. I work for me, not for So I feel people appreciate the quality yenye na shoot na phone. Alafu also for me it's a little easier kwa editing. I'm really used to it. And it's not like I'm not pushing myself beyond.
Yes.
It's because I tried and it failed. And I acknowledge the fact that, hey, he is not working. Let me keep skits like this. Alafu kama I'm doing a series or something, I use high quality cameras, which I got that for.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it. A bunch of questions coming through, and I want to take some of your questions right now, and I'm going to ask the questions. Please project them on the screen. Supermodo was a great... In fact, Mugash, read your question and answer it.
Wow, Supermodo was a great movie. If at all people really care, why is Licario not a millionaire right now? Whew. Okay, I'll try and answer that.
And be
as
honest,
best
man,
as
this
I
is
can.
Baze Creators Garage.
I will. In any art form that's growing, it's not... We're not just teaching... You're not just training people who are making the art. You're also training the people who consume the art. So, yeah. So you have to teach, and I'm sure, again, these guys will agree, you actually have to teach people to appreciate that this is ours, this is what the art form is like, and this is what the art form would look like coming from people. Your people, Kenyan people, this is what Kenyan film looks like. Now, the art form, as far as film goes in Kenya, is still very new. When a South Korean director wins an Oscar, as happened last year, he was able to credit a whole century of South Korean film. A century, 100 years. Hollywood, we're talking about more than double that. You know? No, not more than double, but about double that.
Yes.
So we're still such a new, fresh market that people would need to even know how to work hard to get that material. That, I think, is the tamest answer I can give right now. But let me say this. We're still struggling to find a way to monetize things while still keeping it accessible to people. So to make that film easier for people to see and for Licarion to be making his millions, those are two things that cannot happen at this point because we don't have an industry, Hollywood, Nollywood, Bollywood size, where people are going to be rushing to cinemas or rushing to buy the DVDs. And this is why I have to insist on this as much as I can. The growth of any art form comes down to the people improving the art, but also the audience working hard to access it and actually pay for it. Not me coming to you and saying, I have a film out, alafu naniliza comp. So ya kwanza ni complimentary iko, premiere naeza come. 1,000 bob, that's a bit too much. And then people, recede into the background. If you want to make Licarion rich, spend money on Licarion stuff. And mine as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is so profound.
Can I just add something to that, please? Because I also feel like that is so important, the audience-creator relationship growing. But I also want to say there's a huge role that the government also has to play in terms of creating the environment for the industry to thrive. So it is Mugambe's work to work on his art. It is the audience to whatever, but the government must create a level playing ground, streamline what needs to be streamlined, put in the policies that need to be put in so that the artists can actually make their money.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So from a policy perspective, from a government perspective, not just policy implementation of the policies as well, there's a huge role that needs to get played.
I love the example that Mugambi has given of South Korean because the government injects 1% of the GDP back into the creative economy. Hence why K-pop has blown up, and hence
K-pop,
why
my kids are in love with K-pop.
So, man, I have so many questions. We have so little time, but we are still going to keep it going. Cool. Is there another question that we can put on the screen? Because guys have been asking questions. Is there another question? Okay, another question will be put on the screen. Keep asking your questions. The panel is going to take that. Mugash, now I want to move on to you. We're still not where we need to be, though we have come a long way. I'm seeing from Tushuriane to Shauriane. Baka Crime and Justice. Sarah Hassan. By the way, Sarah Hassan, please, would love to have you on this. I mean, it's amazing what Kenyans are doing, yourselves included. Have it be on social media, have it be on mainstream media, have it be on the different platforms. Now, what has changed, and what do we need to do to compete internationally? What has changed is that you need a Wahoo to work for and I'm trying to I've blanked out. Let's imagine that there's someone who was watching Wahoo 15 years ago. When she was releasing Sweet Love. Wahoo walked so that they can run. Sometimes you need people ahead of you to show you this is what we're capable of doing. For you to say, oh my God, I did not know that was an option.
I was very happy when I was at a wedding and a dad came to me and said, I've seen your work and I was wondering how my kids can end up doing the things that you're doing.
Wow.
I almost wanted to hug them and be like, you have no idea. I could never go to my parents and say, I want to go to film school because this is the thing I want to do, because they would think I've gone crazy.
Yeah.
Just to open up and imagine and allow people to say, this is what you're capable of doing, this is what you're capable of being, that is enough to get people to start saying, what is my own personal point of view? So I'm not trying to do it like Mugambi, I'm not trying to do it like Flak, I'm not trying to do it like Wahoo, I'm not trying to do it like Richie, I'm trying to do it like me, because these guys showed me that it's possible. Remember 2008, 2009, there was another after the 2000s.
Yes.
Akina Just a Band were coming out.
Yes.
Makamende came out at that point. We're starting to see...
Which you were involved in.
Which I was involved
Yes,
in as
you're
well,
part of
yes.
the
I'm really happy to have been
First
involved
viral
in that.
video?
Yes.
In
Kenya's
Kenya?
first viral video.
It was,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah.
And that came out in 2010. It's 2021 now, right? 11 years have passed. Someone who was watching that when they were 8 years old is now 19. And now they're able to go back and think, those guys did it back then. What is it that I can do? Not trying to be viral, but just express myself the way they did. This is all about truth. It's all about self-expression. It's all about what is it that I have to say that I can bring out passionately in a way that no one else can.
Ah, man, that is really profound.
Yeah.
I say potholes filled up by those who came before me. Just the fact that you guys here, especially the two of you, have gone before. And even Flacco, in terms of the platform that he's one of the first. He's the first at doing what he's doing. I hear a lot of young guys these days saying, I want to be YouTubers. Like, that is just mind-blowing.
Yeah.
When I was working at YouTube, we only had 4 YouTubers. So you're right, a lot of people have to go ahead. Now, Wahoo, I want to talk about the innovation that you've done. Like, not only are you in music, but Fununu has it that you have entered this content creation game, and I'm talking about visuals. There's something that you are doing together with your husband, even if your family, if I'm not wrong. Tell us a bit more about your innovation within entertainment.
I want to know as well.
I know, even guys are like, what?
Yeah.
There's a couple of things that we are working on, and let me just say that we are learning as we go. You know, the thing about this space is that, again, you have to be in a place. Me, I'm not a digital citizen. Netizen. I'm not. I've had to learn, like I've told you.
Before computers.
Me, I'm before computers. You know, like us guys have had to learn how does my art exist on digital. From those days of when it was just YouTube. Oh, there's Facebook. Oh, now there's what? Oh, there's now TikTok. How do I exist? We've had to learn, and we're learning from guys. I have to call people. Huku kunaendanga aje? Mtu ananunua ring lights, sijui nini. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So being in that space where you're open to learning and just knowing that you don't know everything, you know. But yes, you're right in the sense that we are excited right now. There's stuff that we are working on. My hubby and I, number one, we're working on our first collaborative album.
These 2 songs that you chomoed the other day.
Yeah.
Tiamo, and what?
The first one was This Love. This Love was this Love, yeah,
this-
Nameless. Yes. There was this Love, yeah,
that
Nameless.
video.
Yeah.
The dual video.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Fuck, amazing concept.
Yes.
So this is now,
Wow.
it's actually like an EP album project that you're
It's
working
an
on.
album project that we're working on because we always wanted, we knew that there was going to be a time when we are going to come together and do work. Before a lot of people kept asking, mbona mfanye collabo, mbona mfanye nini? And we were quite intentional about keeping our brands separate. But we knew at some point that we would reinvent into like a group and sort of work together, not losing our individual identity. He's still Nameless. I'm still Wahoo. We'll still do our separate things, but we'll come together. Like now, we're the M's.
The Mazenges.
The M's.
The M's, sorry.
Yes,
The
the M's. You know, not just the Mazenges.
Yes.
We're the M's.
Okay, the M's.
Yes, and so we want to do. At first, it was difficult to do one song because you're like, what is that one song? What is that one song that it's pressure, you know? So it was Bien who came to us and said, why are you stressing about one song? So just do many.
Ah,
You're like, yenyewe. So we just do many. So we just make it an album. So we're excited about that. Tiamo was the first collaboration, and we are looking forward to releasing the next and the next and the next.
Okay, so
song.
there's that you're working on.
There's that.
Alafu ingine ya reality show. Because first and foremost, I know. Big ups Wahoo. There's something that you said, open to learn, because even those of us who are digital native, I mean, those of us who are within this, who can say we're digitally woke, the innovation happening is insane. The
And so
TikToks and all of
fast.
But you, I see you constantly jumping on.
We are really trying. Like, we just joined TikTok. When was it? Last year or last year? But
And it's your kids teaching you now.
you guy.
The ones you want to laugh about, you're not
Yeah, but you have to be open to learn, and we call it downward mentorship. Like, these guys know a lot more than we do in terms of the digital, what to do, how to. I was just telling Flaco when I saw it, I think I scared him because I'm crazy. I'm a fan. I'm like, Flaco, because I'm like, how does this guy do it? And I want to learn and I want to watch, So being open enough to acknowledging when someone is, even though they are much younger, they have something that you don't, and learning it. So there is the music that we're working on, and then we are about to launch a reality show as well.
Okay, where is it launching on?
It's going to be on Showmax.
On Showmax?
Yeah,
Okay.
It's going to be on
Showmax original.
Wow.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a proper reality show of the M's.
Well, yes, let's say the M's, because what we want to do is this. We want to use the show to show what it takes to create an album. That's our space. What does it take for two brands to come together to work on this? Two people who are married to come together and work on this album and create this music,
Okay.
So for us, that's what the M's, the reality show is about, and we're really excited about it.
And just one last thing, Wahoo. Just because you're a parent of a teen, where is the boundary with the internet, especially with you? And you're not just allowing her to access the internet, but you're sort of also mentoring her in terms of the content creation perspective.
Yeah. Tumiso is on Instagram. She's on Instagram and on TikTok as well. And for us, what we are open again, and I tell my fellow parents that don't be so quick to judge the digital space and say ni mbaya. Unaona ni mbaya kwa sababu hauielewi. Let's just admit we are nervous about things we don't know. We don't know it, so it can't be good, and it has all this, but it's got a lot of opportunities. Look at people who are coming up and making a career off of influencing, off of building their brands or whatever. I'm like, you need to understand. Let's not avoid it. Let's learn to coexist with it, because we are in a digital era.
Yep.
Let's learn, be involved in understanding what it is. I tell Tumiso, what we have to understand is the people who follow you, they follow you because you're interesting, but these are not necessary. Don't form a relationship, a neediness. This is not it. You look at it and know, how do I make the most out of this situation that I'm in? And how do I have what we call it is a healthy relationship with social? How do I have a healthy relationship? So we are constantly having that conversation as parents.
Yep.
How do you have a healthy conversation? I mean, a healthy relationship, so that I'm getting the benefits of being on social media, but I'm avoiding, and I'm strong enough. I'm building resilience to fight, because there's cyberbullying. There's all these nasty things. There's all these weird things happening
Social
again.
comparison.
A lot.
Yes.
You know.
I love it.
Yeah.
Ah, man, fire emojis. I'm trying to keep this thing flowing because of time. Flaco, I've just thought of Wahoo, and I've thought of Nameless, and I've thought of Nameless's channel being hacked.
Yeah.
I've also then thought of you in terms of your YouTube channel being shut down because of, and we're going to have a conversation after this with IP specialist. So, by the way, there's more coming in part 2. So my question to you is, Flaco, is this. First and foremost, let's have a conversation about your channel being brought down. Your own content, what you're making revenue for. Other people, explain to us what happened and how you got it back.
That time, I'm finished. That feeling.
Why was the channel brought down, first and foremost?
Somewhere towards the end of last year.
Why?
the reason was copyright. I produce content, then watu wengine wanaenda wanaload kwa channel zao, then wao wana copyright strike for kitu umeproduce.
What?
Yeah. Can you imagine?
So other people claimed your content as their content.
Yeah.
Are you
Oh,
kidding
man.
me?
Yeah.
Yes.
And sometimes I load some things on Instagram, then I load them on YouTube later.
Yes.
Then when I load them on YouTube, napata, somebody has already claimed the content.
So for them to claim
So I
it, let me
can't
just
earn
say
off
that, for them to claim it means they were also making revenue from your content.
Yeah.
So they shut it down claiming that they were the original owners.
Yeah.
Now, how did you get back the channel?
My aggregators are Ngoma.
Aha.
So I actually walked back to them, and it's Clemo who helped me get it back through CEO Nini
YouTube.
Google Africa.
Yes.
Alafu, that time also people were really,
Upset.
it was like a movement.
Yep,
on
there was-
Twitter and yeah, so it really helped. Yeah.
I love what you've talked about because you've talked about the role of an aggregator.
Yeah.
The Baze platform has aggregators. So when people ask what is the aggregator's role when it comes to content creation, this is what they're supposed to be doing. They're supposed to fight on your behalf as the content creator to ensure that people are not just stealing your content, but also bringing them down. And the aggregator was able to restore your channel. Okay, Falako, I've got just one more question and then we're going to do parting shots. Yani, we haven't even gotten through this, but the conversation is so mortal.
Bring us back.
I know.
We're happy to come back.
Yeah.
5 emojis for part 2 of the content creation. So, Flaco, you transcend generations. I mean, Wahu's whole family watches you. From same with me. You transcend language. You transcend. What is it about your content that you feel has gotten you to the place that you are? And also, are you shackled by the audience? Because you've also had a lot of flack.
Yeah, true.
Get it what I did?
Sorry, geez.
Yeah.
I mean, and even recently you released, are you trapped by the audience? Are you boxed? Are you not allowed to do other stuff apart from Mama Otis?
No,
That's a lot
actually-
of questions, but answer.
Actually, if you follow me lately, I decided to break free and do various things. Come on, in music, I'll just do it. Because I look at myself as an entertainer. I don't just do comedy, right? Because if I lock myself within that box, I want to grow as a person. I'll just be pleasing people. So lately, I've been doing a lot of things. People can follow and just check out. Also, you asked about different people, like the whole family. Okay, what I did was, I was developing Mamotis, right? So I was trying to look like, how do I capture people's attention apart from just Mamotis? Because this is going to get old. So I decided, like, let me try giving Mamotis a husband. And what I do in building these characters is, if you look at me right now, there's a very big difference between me and Mamotis. So I take time to, like, what is going to be the difference between Mamotis and Flaco? If you look at me right now, you will not imagine I'm probably Babotis, unless I put on that nini. So I really sit down and study and look at, like, an old person, Akiwochi. What exactly would they like about this dad? If a young, call them slay queens, Akiwatch, they like something about a court, probably Otis, right? Moms love Mama Otis. So that's how I captured the whole family. It's a family thing.
And for
and it's a challenge. It's a challenge doing it because I have to sit down, nianze ku differentiate. There are 3 very close voices zenye zilikuwa zinanisumbua. There's Mama Otis' voice. There's a court voice. Wewe, unafanya nini hapo? That is Mama Otis. Then there's a court. Okay, so me siwezi kuja hapa. Then there is the kid. I have to do something like that. They are really close. So basically, I have to sit down and look at the society, how people think. What exactly would attract a 60-year-old to my content?
Oh, man.
Probably Babotis, right? A child, that kiddo, who is being slapped by the mom or whatever. Moms love Mamotis. So I literally look for ways to capture
the whole market
yeah.
through your characters.
Yeah.
And let me, one last thing, and then I'm coming for parting shots from each and every one of you.
Right.
You've also used technology. Look at yourself right now. You've got dreads. But on some of the videos, you look like a kid. You literally look like a kid.
Yeah.
So explain the use of technology for the outward appearance for your characters.
So I it's always a learning process. I always keep learning. Maybe nimeingia pale Snapchat nikapata filter, nikona like, okay, I used to do BN trying to cover my head, but now what do? There's a filter hapa ya bald. Alafu nivae specs complete. So I'm always still on YouTube. It's always a learning process. Naingia like, how can I literally type, how can I make myself look younger? Now watch, it took me time to develop this kid character, but it was an idea from Kitambo until I landed on Snapchat. After coming from YouTube, nikasema, yes, I got it. So it's always a learning process. Akunanga kufika.
Yeah. Ebu kuna swali hapo, soma and answer it.
Question for Flacco. How did he get to the discovery phase of getting corporate endorsements, and how did he get the financial knowledge that came with that rates and value definition? I have a manager who is a very great manager.
You have a manager?
Yeah. So I have a great manager.
You have somebody who is answerable to your business side.
Yeah.
So for you, Flacco is a brand. Yeah. You are just an actor in this brand, and there's somebody who also manages the brand.
Yeah. So he really helps me a lot on MBA. Flacco, don't do this. Now he is very sharp. Roy is very sharp. So I'm like, there's too much of this you're doing. Try this. Hold this back. And it's really worked for me so far.
Yeah. Okay. Guys, unfortunately, we're coming to the end of this. Yani, unaona hizi maswali zote. Have you guys enjoyed?
Oh, yeah. No,
I've thoroughly enjoyed your presence.
Yeah.
Listen, final statements. We'll start with Mugash,
Sure.
into the beautiful Wahoo, and then we'll end with... are we going to have a character called the Rastas?
No.
Okay, okay. Mugash,
Niangalie
your
kamera
parting
gani
shot. If you want to
for
talk to
the
them...
parting shot?
direct-
That one?
Yes.
Yes, I've been instructed to look at that one.
Okay.
We can talk all we want. We can talk for an hour and a half. The technologies change. They come and go. Artistic movements will come and go. The most important thing is, what is it that the creator has put in your heart to say? You don't exist here by accident. You exist here for a reason. The feelings that you have, the passions that you have are there to be shared with the world. Go out there, do it bravely, do it with honesty, and don't hurt anyone in the process, because there's enough for everyone.
Yeah.
I promise you.
Oh, amazing.
Why did you put me after him? Now he's just talked so much wisdom, so many nice things.
It's
You've
natural.
even
Your
brought
wisdom
God.
is natural.
No, for me, I just want to say, I think the most important thing is work from the heart, and don't get disappointed when things don't work out the way you expect them to. Just put yourself in a position to always learn from your failures, learn from other people's failures as well, learn from their successes, learn from people who are older than you, younger than you, on your same. Just be in a position to learn and get better.
Amen.
Woo. Flacco, what's your parting shot?
What I'd say is start with what you have, discipline, strategy, and always be humble. Be ready to learn. Like, be open. Yeah, that's what makes you grow. Kunanga kufika. Once umefika, now that's the end of you. Yeah.
That's true.
Whew.
That's true.
To all my guests, listen, guys, it's not over. There's a part 2 coming, and you heard Flacco talk about how his content had been stolen. We're going to teach you what to do to prevent that happening, so that you wouldn't even need to go to an aggregator to get back your content. We're going to have an IP lawyer with us, Liz Lenjo. For those of you who want maybe to catch episode 2 and episode 1 of the Baze Creators Garage, just do *544 *55#. I'll say that again. It's on the screen, *544 *55#. In episode 2, by the way, we had none other than BN. So to take us off, and you're going to see a little bit of a snippet, we want Flacco. I'm throwing you on the spot. Ebu mama and do a quick 30-second BN impression.
Cheki, me, can you think your industry was the best rapper kwa hii industry? Nishinsky. Umse anaweza ali. Just listen. Bear with me. You bear with me, Sindo. Umse alimba at 3 a.m. Nikaamka like
Na calligraph. Switch calligraph.
Ja. Show. Nilisikia bien unasema ati Shinsky is the best rapper, bro. I think I'm the best rapper, bro. We need a song, bro.
Ringtone.
Sasa wewe unajua ile kitu ambacho unajua mimi ni kijana wa Yesu, kamera ni gani? Mimi ni kijana wa Yesu.
Bahati. Okay, we go.
Usisikia kitu ringtone anasema Diana usiniache.
you guys. Fire emojis for my panelists. See you after the break. Okay, guys.
It's very important early on in your career to understand ownership is the end goal, and you're in this for the buyout.
I love it.
I'm making this soul music right now because it will be valuable for me in the future. And so I have to really make sure that my split sheets are in order and all the rights holders in my music are in order. In fact, if you look at Midnight Train, your average song has even 3 to 4 writers. And it's deliberate so that we get the best. But also, it's important that your stakeholders, your writers, and everybody knows what they own, where, how.
We had just quit from our jobs, even myself. So we took what we had accumulated over the years, like our pension, the kidogo that it was, and then we that is what we put in. And then we borrowed. We borrowed from family, and then even the location itself we got from Eve's sister where they were living. They gave us the place, and I owed even my mother-in-law. That was how bad, how bad it was. But we had a vision and we knew this is what we wanted to do and we were going to get there somehow.
It's very important early on in your career to understand ownership is the end goal. And you're in this for the buyout.
I love it.
I'm making this soul music right now because it will be valuable for me in the future. And so I have to really make sure that my split sheets are in order, and all the rights holders in my music are in order. In fact, if you look at Midnight Train, your average song has even 3 to 4 writers. And it's deliberate so that we get the best. But also, it's important that your stakeholders, your writers, and everybody knows what they own, where, how.
We had just quit from our jobs, even myself. So we took what we had accumulated over the years, like our pension, the kidogo that it was, and then that is what we put in. And then we borrowed. We borrowed from family, and then even the location itself we got from Eve's sister where they were living. They gave us the place, and I owed even my mother-in-law. That was how bad, how bad it was. But we had a vision and we knew this is what we wanted to do and we were going to get there somehow.
Welcome back to the Baze Creators Garage. This is episode 3. Thoroughly enjoying it. Hope you've enjoyed part 1. And the conversation that we're having today is the art of content creation. We've had such an amazing session in the first part, and I promise you the second part doesn't dip. It gets only better. Now, first and foremost, remember, the whole reason why we do this show is to help you as content creators out there create the best content that you can. Our job is to connect you and have the conversations that you want. So right now, you can see there's a Google document that has been pinned. Imagine you guys, we want to create content for you and want you guys on this seat to have the people that you want to have. We want to have the people that you want to have and have the conversations that you want to have. So fill in that Google form. Let us know, who do you want us to get? Who do you want us to get here to have conversations with? Also, let us know, what conversations do you want to talk? What conversations do you want us to talk about? To see the past conversations so that you don't repeat some of the conversations, to see the past conversations that we've had, simply dial *544 *55#. Watch episode 1, where we talked about, episode 2, where we talked about the business of content creation, and also get to watch episode 1. So, now with me, you've heard Flaco talk about how his content was being grabbed by people, his rights, and people are not only monetizing and making money from his content, but they even went ahead to shut him down. So we want to prevent that happening to you. So with us, we've got none other than the creme de la creme, the top of the top when it comes to IP, none other than Liz Lenjo. Now here's a little bit about Liz. Liz is the founder and managing consultant at MYIP Legal Studios. She specializes in intellectual property, entertainment, media, and fashion law. She holds a master's of law in intellectual property law. Also, she is a recipient of the prestigious nomination Business Daily Top 40 Under 40 Women 2018 in the legal field. Liz, welcome. Ulikuwa na watch your session 1?
Hey man, I've watched it. I'm like, hey, I'm feeling the pressure.
I don't feel the pressure. You are so amazing at what you do. Let me just be honest with you guys. This is who all people in the entertainment industry are running to for protection of these things. But now we want to give you this value so that you can understand how to prevent these things from happening to you. So let me just start this thing from the beginning. What is intellectual property?
All right, and I think someone has asked the question in the audience, George, I think. What is IP? So today I'll just cover it in terms of content creation, because IP is huge, it's broad, right? So we're talking about content. So we start with the misnomer. Wakili, I want to patent an idea, right? It's not patenting. Patenting is a form of protection. It's the highest form of protection. It means you're the first one in the world to have come up with such an idea that we want us to protect it for you, right? So tuweke patent kando.
Patent
right?
kando.
Kwa content,
content,
right? So content, first of all, we talk about copyright. Copyright protects the expression of ideas, right? So if you're in literary works, artistic works, photography, video or audiovisual works, sculpture, architectural works, audio wasiwa copyright, right? So we've seen Wahoo here, she talks about how some of her songs she's written, right? She's not the first one to have talked about love in a love song, sindio? Yeah? So it's expression. Vile yeye aliongea about love, na vile maybe Flaco, if he decided to do a love song pia, it will be different, right? But love is the same theme. It's the idea, it's the concept. So we don't protect concepts, we don't protect ideas. They are raw.
Okay. Let's take this a bit slowly. So from when it's in my mind and I'm thinking of, I want to patent love. I can't patent love.
Nothing.
I can't.
No, you can't patent love.
Can't
Love is
copyright
common. Love is everything. Love is everywhere, right? So it's now about how vile umefikiria your idea, then you express it. So your expression. So it okay hapa on paper or in the studio or we record. Then it becomes tangible. Pia wase waku dancers pia, they have to protect, they can protect their choreography. Yeah.
So, okay, it cannot be protected if it is still in the mind.
Exactly.
If it is still in the mind, Pole
sana.
The moment you put it into a picture, the moment you put it into a song, a video, the moment you put it into writing, even the dance steps,
exactly.
That's when it can be protected.
That's when it's protected. So it's protected by copyright. Then you get the protection for your full-time, or rather your life, plus 50 years after death. So now in this process of content creation under copyright, it means that you have to ensure that you protect it wisely. You have the necessary document. So for example, Wahoo is in music, right? So she needs split sheets. Akiandika ngoma, anaandika ngoma na kina nani. Share nani ni ya nani, right? Then now, the minute they decide to record it, now other things happen in terms of IP. There will be that sound recording, umingia studio, record. Then in that instance, again, you need a contract. So nilingia kwa Esther Productions, I paid you 5Gs. Am I paying you 5Gs to own the sound recording, or is it just studio time? Because again, now when we're talking music, kuna copyright na related rights. So copyright ni wale wasi wameandika ngoma. Author, composer, and arranger. So arranger ni yule msana kwambia, sing here, ad-lib hapo, rap hapa. That's the arranger, right? In some instances, you'll find 10 people. BN talked about him having like 6 people in a song, right? So those 6 people, how do they secure their rights? Yeah, your split sheet. Because again, in music, after tushaandika ingoma, the raw song itself can appear on an ad.
Yes.
Yeah. So we take this song based on decide wanafanya some jingle, right? So it's the writers who will be compensated because they're using the song in its original composition before in the studio. Split sheet is important because of that.
Okay.
Tukirecord sasa that contract with the producer who owns the sound recording right, related right number 1. Kuna musicians, sessional musicians, background vocalists,
all the
people
singer
themselves.
Yes.
Sasa, the performers. Piao, they have to be declared in another document. It can even be in a hybrid split sheet where now we talk about all these rights. So then we know nani ndo alikuwa the sound producer. Because that's the other thing is we always confuse a producer in law versus the producer as a performer. Because kuna ile something iko kwa studio, that fancy gadget, you press a button, it plays the bass, it plays the keyboard. It replaced sessional musicians to a point, right? So umse anaambiwa hapo we cheza bass, ni performer. Because that's what he's doing. Amemba we cheza bass, cheza flute, he's a performer. So there's a difference. Producer is the guy who, Ganji, ule ana finance, the sound
executive
recording.
Producer.
Yeah, but don't say executive, producer.
Just
in
producer.
Law.
Okay.
In law.
Okay, in law.
Yes.
Okay, let me slow you down. Let me slow you down. Umepatia information overload. I love it though. I love it. So my question is, okay, I want to walk stages and I want to look at, of course it varies from Wahoo to Flaco to even this show.
Yeah.
But I want to see, is there a generic one without us getting deep? So for example, now somebody has taken their intellectual property out of their mind, they've put it into a photograph, into a song, and how do they get to say, I am the one who owns this intellectual property?
All right. So again, unajua saa zingine it's best when you relate it to someone.
Yes.
So let's use Mugash.
Okay, Mugash.
Because Mugash now is in film. Okay. Mugash is a script writer.
He's a script writer.
Amelala ameota story kali, right? He wakes up, he writes it down. Sasa he's written it down. Okay, traditionally, copyright is automatic, ukishaiandika, ukishai-express, like somewhere someone can get it. But now we push for registration because it's prudent. In law, we say it's prudent because at the end of the day, you want to assert that when ndio umeandika, right? So you go to Kenya Copyright Board, you register your copyright. They do nrr.copyright.go.ke.
So this process can be done online?
Exactly.
I don't have to go to a physical building?
Yes, no. Tumesonga.
Oh,
yeah, so immediately what he'll do is first he has to secure his copyright.
Okay, Mugasha amemaliza kuandika. In fact, let me even make it better. He's typed it on a Word document. He goes to what website?
So he will PDF it, nrr.copyright.go.ke.
nrr.copyright.go.ke. And in overall, it's the copyright?
Yeah, it's under Kenya Copyright Board.
Kenya Copyright Board?
Yes.
Okay, sawa.
Aingie open account, ata upload. There's some money he'll have to pay, and then he has his certificate.
Repeat that website again. I want the team to project that on the screen.
It's nrr.copyright.go.ke.
.go.ke. And by the way, for you to have .go.ke, it means that you're a government institution.
Yes, it's government.
So nrr.copyright.go.ke. It will be projected on the screen, guys. Okay.
I believe I have it right.
Okay.
But yeah, so immediately he will go and register copyright.
The same way I open up a Facebook account, I open up an account there.
Yes.
Of course, I put my ID number, PIN, and all those things.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, Mugash is a typical textbook story because his IP is straightforward. Kuna wale, they will need a lawyer to guide them. Because again, that misconception, I want to patent an idea, I need copyright, is it protectable under copyright? Remember I talked about audiovisual works, literary works, artistic works. So we have to figure out where that happens. So sometimes you can register, upate certificate, but hauna chochote. Yeah. So again, at the end of the day, you need some teamwork there. You need a lawyer. You need, if you have a creator, co-creator there, it has to be collaboration. So now he has uploaded he gets his copyright certificate. Now Mugash wants to pitch. Yeah.
Okay.
So when he's pitching, depending on who he's pitching, he needs to be armed with a non-disclosure agreement.
Hold on. In fact, even before we get there, so I want at this stage, we have understood it for Mugash, out of the brain, written. Is that the same for Flaco?
Yes, it will be the same for Flaco in his content, although his content is very customized, right? So for him, it will be slightly different. Again, because he records, there's a digital footprint. So he doesn't even need to go to copyright to register. Because akona footprint, akona digital footprint, you can see Tuesday, 4th May, 9 a.m., Flaco, unaona. Yes. So, but for Mugash, it's difficult. So lazima aende a register, apate yo certificate yake.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's ready to pitch, right? So now when you're going to pitch, who are you pitching to? There's an art to pitching. Because remember, now like him, we're talking maybe a broadcaster. You have to secure yourself because you're going to someone who, this is their ordinary course of business. That's their day-to-day. Wakona team, every day, wakona meetings, nini. So lazima uji protect so that you show that wewe ndo ulileta this asset to them. Right?
It's true. Okay, okay, I hear what you're saying. Now I've created this thing and I've copyrighted it. So how do I protect myself so that this idea of mine, when I'm going to pitch to get funding so that this movie can be made, that this idea is not stolen?
Exactly. So your NDA is an undisclosure agreement. Which basically says there was a disclosure that happened, there was a meeting that happened, a disclosure that happened, a certain idea was disclosed or expression or something that was going to change their business. And they need to acknowledge that.
I need to say this again into the camera. What you have said is so huge. A lot of people get brilliant ideas. They've not gone through the stage of of copywriting it, and then they run and tell their brilliant ideas to other people. Those people take that idea and create content, and then they say, wali ibak idea yangu.
Exactly.
But you hadn't protected yourself because you hadn't gone to NRR and copyrighted your information.
Exactly.
So, or you also hadn't gone with a non-disclosure agreement and told them, I have an idea that I want to tell you, but before I tell you this idea, I need you to sign here to say that I am telling you this idea.
Exactly. And you see, now the other thing people do wrong is also in the law school of the internet. And I download NDA because they feel like they can do the work of a lawyer.
And there's nothing, is there anything wrong with that?
It's a problem. Because when you go online, si unapata protected under the law of Australia, US, nini. Like we have common principles, but our execution is different.
I can't just change there from US to Kenya?
You can't. Because again, angalia vile busy na run Kenya versus vile busy na run US.
Okay.
Kuna difference. So again, what even a lawyer will do for you, they'll understand, umekam uniambia, hey, I'm Richie, this is what I do, this is what I want. I understand your brand, and I help you figure out kama ni copyright, vile tutaifanya, and how you're going to steer into the system. So that kesho usianze kulia, oh, waliiba, walifanya. Yeah, so that NDA has to be crafted properly. So there will be generic clauses hapa na pale, but there are some that will be unique to you, to brand Richie, to brand Wahoo, to brand Flaco, to brand Mugash.
Okay.
Yeah.
Liz, let me ask you another question. So now I'm a content creator. I put up my content, and then somebody takes my song and goes and does an advert with that. How then do I go about getting without my permission? How then do, and this has happened a lot, I'm sure you know this. What steps do I need to take to getting compensated? And is it even possible to get compensated for that?
So, kwanza ikifanyika online, I think the first thing people need to realize, maze, stay calm. Stay calm. Because guys you're crazy. They're like, oh, sijui nani, wanze kutukanana, nini. You start destroying goodwill. Because now you ask Liz to check in to help you. Man, nangalia hapo Twitter naona tu umetukana wase. I'm like, boss, hapo itakuwa ngumu. Because we might get to a situation now where you even take away what you could have gotten from yourself because you've been the red for defamation, for example, right? So first,
Number
you stay
one,
calm.
stay calm.
Stay calm.
Stay calm.
Then number two, document. So kama ni screenshots, nini, hizo zote. Step 2.
Number one, stay calm. Number 2, document. Get proof.
Exactly. Because they will come and remove them, but just because they deleted doesn't mean they didn't use.
And if you don't stay calm, they can quickly delete before you've documented.
Exactly. So you stay calm kwanza, chukua ma screenshots, nini. Then step 3, tafuta wakili. Because sasa wakili atakusaidia kunavigate.
Yep.
Yeah? Because zingine you find that kuna pesa ya haraka, right? Like it's something really hot, moto. With the right lawyer, they'll help you and they advise you, we get you an out-of-court settlement. Especially kwanza ile tu, it's just downright copyright infringement.
Yes.
Yeah? We scare them with a demand letter, hey, kesho, we're already on the negotiating table. We've settled cases in 3 days, a week, 2 months. It happens. Yeah? So zingine it's not about going to court. We'll go to court, ukifanya bad manners online. So, nianze sasa kukutetea, right? So you have to do, being calm is everything. Especially in the internet age, you have to be calm. We lose cases because someone just got crazy, they got so emotional, and then they lost out. So it's about now, you always police your work because we're in a digital space. You can always check out where has my music been used, where has my content been used, nini, and then now you do what I've said. Because again, if you get crazy, you lose on opportunities to commercialize, to collaborate. Because wase watakuwa wanasema, Richie ni mse wa kelele. Yeah, you don't want that. You want money. See, everyone wants chums.
Yes.
You want to buy a nice moti. You want to do what? That's the plan.
Okay, now let me ask this then from the positive side. So I've made a hit song. I'm an artist, I've made a hit song. And now suddenly Company X wants to use my hit song for their advert. What should I know from that perspective? Now it's them who've approached me and told me, hey, nice, I want to use your song. What are the kind of things that of course, first and foremost, I just from an understanding perspective, I do understand the importance of getting a lawyer for this. Yeah. But what should be in my mind? Because what is a lot of content creators' mind is, wapi do.
Exactly.
But what other things aside the money should I be thinking about?
So first, the offer has to be in writing. Nataka kutumia waki yako, nipe contract. Niambie kile unataka. Right? Ataka si contract.
Give me an offer letter.
Email. Offer letter, email. just to say, hey, Richie, I love your song, nini nini, we want to do it in an ad. So that now you can have follow-up questions. Well, pia kufanya research. Which company is this that's asking to use my work? Wataifanyia wapi? Like, you know, so that you understand first the idea that they have for your work. Your sasa pia unegotiate the money. Yeah? Because itumiwa digital, itumiwe, traditional broadcasting, you know.
In
so
different countries.
the more platforms, the more money. The more countries, the more money, right? So those are the things. Ukishapewa contract, so that una skim through before you get a lawyer. Anza kutafuta words like perpetuity.
Oh, perpetuity means?
Perpetuity means forever and ever and ever. Amen.
So when they say, that is so powerful. When you hear in a contract somebody telling you, we would like to use your song perpetually, whatever. So
in perpetuity.
In perpetuity, they're telling you this song, we want to use it forever and ever and ever and ever.
Exactly.
So that 100 G's that you are going to make, you need to start saying times forever.
Times forever, exactly.
So for every year, for every year, I should be expecting a royalty compensation for that.
So, but ukiangalia such words like perpetuity, you're able to now say, okay, I need to renegotiate, or these guys have not captured our agreement. Non-exclusive versus exclusive, those are other terms that we use.
For example, let me use the Baze platform. So the Baze platform, which is *544 *55#, for content creators, they tell them, we are taking your content and it is non-exclusive. What does that mean?
Non-exclusive means I can put it in different platforms. I'm not just for Baze.
Okay.
So which means I can put it on Baze, there's like a Showmax, there's like a Viusasa. So then I make from Baze, what I will make, I keep. From Viusasa, from Showmax, like that. Non-exclusive.
So when they tell you exclusive, nikusema, it is only for here.
Exactly. So that means it has to be worth your while. Because just this platform, you have locked down all these other potential revenue streams, so lazima unegotiate.
Yani Liz, tunaendelea. I've got a question here for you. And it says, what about a music video producer? He produces a music video. Does he have any rights to it?
So this is purely about negotiation, right? Because you can come to me as an artist and you have money, right? Say I'm Enos, one of the most sought after music video producers. Enos akwambie mimi na charge a meter. Story development, I charge a meter. Production costs half a meter. If I have 1.5, I give him, voila, I own all the rights in the music video. But now if I come from a point of, dude, me, I have a killer song. So I have only 50 Gs, Can we be co-producers in the music video? Yeah, then we have a contract. So that now in the different platforms, tukienda YouTube, there's a way we share. We share the rights.
I get it.
We share the money. Yeah. So that's why now, even in the music industry, split sheet will move from just a split sheet to a hybrid because of online. So that because money will come from YouTube directly to your account, tunasema, okay, Richie as our manager and you're on a manager account, amepata 1M for this song. Hybrid inasemaje, from the copyright itself to the related rights, how are we sharing the money? So sasa kwa hiyo pia ita include music video. So tumeagree sasa hiyo as 100%.
Yep.
But then there's the traditional split sheet because sasa when it comes to just the song by itself, kuna other opportunities.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Liz, this is huge. What is a trademark?
Sasa trademark, the most underutilized thing in the creative industry.
Yeah. We're going to make me chapaka. Trademark is the most currently.
Yes.
Okay, what is a trademark?
So a trademark is the protection that's given to the name or rather the brand that you create for your product or your platform. So the name that you use, the slogan, the look, the color, the look and feel. So tuangalie kama Baze, for example, right? Tuangalia logo ya Baze, there's a certain way ameandika jina Baze, right? So that already itself. Then there's two circles, the logo around it. So the name itself and that expression of it is their trademark, right? So it has to be registered.
Okay.
When you're registering a trademark, we have what we call classifications, the area of business in which you're in.
Yeah, and are we registering it in that same place?
No.
Okay.
This one now is a little manual because this one now goes to Kenya Industrial Property Institute, KIPI.
Okay.
KIPI manages trademarks and now these are patents, industrial property. Yeah. So that trademark is what you protect. Now in the class, what you want to do is to prevent competitors from trying to create something similar. Yeah.
Yes.
So like someone decided nataka kuregister Baze with a Y. You lock them, you shut it down ASAP, Flaco. comedian, he can register
They
that.
can't do anything similar to what it is that you use in those same colors, using that same font.
Exactly. Even made up words. Yeah. So if you make up a word, especially, kwanza yours is stronger. With common words, we have to do what is called disclaiming, right? So kama seme creators garage, vile Baze wanajita creators garage. Creator and garage are common English words.
Yes.
So they will disclaim them as separate words because they can't exclude me from using the word creators, right? Or even you, because
even cleaning the airwaves.
Even kwa show we are hosting creators at peep unaambiwa infringement. It can't work.
Yeah, that's funny.
So, but what they will get is a trademark protection over the combination of creators and garage. Hiyo combination. So mtu mwingine anaweza come aseme creators studio. Atapata.
Yeah, okay, yes,
studio,
yes.
Because those are common words.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So which means, again, when you're creating a brand, you have to be very deliberate, very specific. You have to know about your competitors. What are they doing? How have they branded themselves? You register, una stand out. Right? And then as you register, as you create that brand, you also marketing, unapiga kelele, because now everyone will know who you are, how you do it, where you are. I'll give an example. I'm wearing Shop New Level by Nancy Mwai. Udem alianza ka blogger. Kimchezo. Then, kidogo, fashion. What she's doing is not extremely unique. This is a cheetah print, but it's how she's done it. Na ile kelele amepiga. Yeah? So that now, because there's some things that do not have a space in the IP, especially where you're just recycling stuff, but it's because of how you're doing it, you still make money from it.
This thing is just mind-blowing right now. Okay, so I have just had this right now, and all this information may be information. Creatives are creatives. When you start talking this business side, sometimes it throws them off.
Yeah.
First and foremost, why don't creators get a lawyer? What do you think is the biggest issue?
They think that it's expensive. I tell guys, protective lawyering is cheaper than defensive lawyering. If you come to me and say, hey, Liz, I have an idea, even unataka kuenda, itakuwa cheaper, because even there we'll negotiate and say, Sasa, what do you have as a budget for legal? We negotiate, we see how we can work together. But ukikamu uniambe, hey Liz, maze, I'm being slapped by a defamation suit, nambiwa sijui nini, infringement, that means we're going straight to court. Now it means I'm putting on my war armor. I'm like, fight.
You're ready.
So it's different. So let me put it like this. If you can spend 20 Gs on clothes, ngara kutoka shoes, nguo, atujonge hata nywele, like for some of us chiles, guys are spending 50 Gs a sock on weaves. Hiyo pesa inaweza ingia kwa legal. Alafu they can, even there's opportunities for staggered payment, right? Unaingia unabonga na wakili, mna negotiate. Because wakili pia si chuma, ni binadamu.
Okay,
it's about understanding your
like
business, mali uko na mali unaenda kufika, and then we figure out and say, okay, sawa basi, me I see potential, this is how we can do. Say uko na 20K, sawa. Tuanze na 20K, but in your plan.
Yep.
Right? So even now, that story for guys calling lawyers and just saying, hey, Nico, I just wanted to consult. Hey, my friend,
this is
careful.
your IP.
Yeah, it's also my IP. Me, I have studied for like 6 years and counting to be able to break down IP law the way I have, right? It's taken time. It's taken years. So right now, you can call me. Me, I can give you legal advice, easy breezy. But it's because it's my daily bread and I'm always perfecting it to make it accessible for raia.
I get it.
Right? So it's important that that conversation is had. Ukianza kukol best yako kama ni social capital, be clear from the beginning. Because some guys have friends who are lawyers.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I love what you said. Just getting a lawyer can enable you to see things like and add more money to that word, perpetuity. Perpetual. Yeah, it can enable you to see things that your mind may have not understood and add the amount of money that you can be able to go and ask for. Because sometimes you look at it from the negative perspective of my content has been stolen or this has happened, I'm fighting. But sometimes lawyers need to come before that process because they can increase the revenue in which you can make, or they can even enable you from entering a pothole that is that is coming your way. Now let me just ask this last one and then I'll see if there's another question. And then guys, by the way, if you've got a question, please let me know right now because we're coming to the end of this conversation. It's been amazing. Mine is this. Now let's look at a situation from like Flaco, where and the internet. Thank God Flaco had an aggregator. And thank God even YouTube has the systems in which other people are able to, fix the back end. A platform like TikTok, somebody just taking your song and going and creating money, or influencers taking your music and going to make money from that without your permission. What's the line with the internet and this space where anybody can just go and download your song or download your video, take your dance move? How does it work with the internet right now? And that guy's in Japan or is in...
So that's a complicated and loaded question. I'd need like 15 minutes to break it down.
Give me what you can.
In summary, first of all, when we're talking about digital platforms, the TikToks, nini, kuna terms and conditions. We call them pop-up contracts. You need to soma them. Most guys don't soma. They'll be like, 42 pages. I'm done. But you need to soma, right? So that you see how it advances even your content and you know how it relates with third-party content as well in terms of IP, kama channel yako itatikiwa down, you need to read those terms and conditions.
If you don't want to read, get a lawyer.
If you don't read, yes, get a lawyer, atakuandikia a small dumbed down version of the terms and conditions. Now, if I'm a songwriter or I'm an artist, my ngoma has been used. Again, I need to know about the T's and C's first. I need to assess what's going on.
T's and C's means terms and conditions. Yeah,
Then I have to assess now what's going on with the song. Did I authorize it? Yeah, I didn't, of course. If I didn't, it's my legal right to decide to take it down. But again, make an informed decision. Angalia vile uta plug in to make some money.
Okay.
So from there now it depends. Because it's always easy to say, take down. But that is minus on the wallet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have that option, but I would say find ways to now plug in and collaborate.
Okay.
For some people, like TikTok, for example, has become a marketing tool. Like 2 seconds, they're okay with that 2 seconds or 5 seconds of their song being used.
Yep.
And then they figure out how to make sure people go on YouTube to watch their videos or find out how they can hype their song when they're about to release the video, So it's all dependent. Now, something else that's important to note is that intellectual property registrations, is it copyright, is it trademark, patents, hopefully we'll talk about in future and whatnot, are territorial.
Oh, they're territorial.
So ukiregister Kenya ni Kenya peke yake, right? However, especially on copyright industries, mambo ya copyright, with the online terms and conditions, we can find a way to get that guy in Japan who's used your work to pay you. Wewe, hiyo ni story ingine. Hii ni story ya traditional knowledge and cultural expressions. It's a whole kettle of fish on IP. I'm telling you, IP is just scratch surface.
In fact, saying that, Ebu put her social media handle, because as you can see, there's so much more that maybe people have questions. I just honestly speaking, maybe people have direct questions. Can they reach on your social media?
Yeah, they can.
Not just for consultation at those ones of I have a problem. You have this member is her IP 6 years worth of work. So put up her handles on the thing. Okay, so my baby, let me just ask her part. Yeah, your social media handles are up. So my part in question is, I just want to know, I'm curious with all of this. Like, how much have you won for people? What would you say is the most? You don't have to say their names, of course.
Yeah, I wouldn't say the names, but the most I think I have made so far right now for a client was 6 meter out of court settlement.
6 million?
Yes.
Yeah. See, somebody please just take my song by mistake.
I really come through smooth. That's what I'm saying.
So it works.
When people stay calm, you'll be surprised what a lawyer can do for you.
What?
And it took me less than 3 months.
Guys, first of all, some fire emojis for Liz. I had to know who that 6 million was. That is amazing. So their copyright, their content or whatever it was it the content? Was it content?
Yeah, it was content.
Was it video, audio content?
This one was in the development stage. There's one which was on development stage, and then there was one that was already audiovisual. Yeah.
What? And somebody used it without the permission, and the company or whoever it was, you were able to step in and get a settlement.
Yeah, and it's an international. Like I'm saying, someone in Japan, in US. Yeah.
Hey, Liz. Fire emojis. I know you call my sanitizer for fat. Guys, I hope you have enjoyed this session of the Baze Creators Garage. You know, every Baze Creators Garage, I keep saying, this is the best one I've had. This is the best one I've had. Honestly speaking, this one so far is the best one I've had. And they've all been fire. They've all been so amazing. We haven't even got through all the questions. Thank you to each and every single one of you who has watched. Now, I've got a couple of things to tell you before I close off. First and foremost, Baze, yes. The Baze is a content aggregation platform, and they are calling on content aggregators. They want your content. They want your content they want to put your content on their platform, your video content on their platform. So to find out more about this, just go to safaricom.co.ke/Baze. Let me say that again. If you're a content creator, video content creator, and you're looking to put your platform on the Safaricom Baze platform, yes, Safaricom have a video platform called the Safaricom Baze. Simply go and to find out how you're going to be able to give them your content, go to safaricom.co.ke/Baze, and it will give you information about what it is that you need to do in the process of doing that. If you've been wondering, what's this Baze platform that these guys are talking about? What kind of content is there? My content, for example, is there. The Cleaning the Airwaves content is there. Mugasha's movie is there. It is a video platform that you can access right now. Right now, you can access the platform simply by going to *544*55# and just follow the prompts. I'll say that again. *544*55#. It's on your screen right now. Last but definitely not least, the Google form. The Google form that has been pinned. I want you, we don't just want to bring you content for the sake of bringing you content. We want to bring content that we believe is going to add value to us. So co-create with us. Tell us, who do you want to see? Which content creators? It can be in music, it can be in film, it can be in written word. You let us know. It can be guys behind the scenes, guys in front of the scenes. It can be guys like Liz, Kiare, name it. We've had a couple of them so far. So just check out the Google form, fill it in. Let us know what topic you'd like us to have. Let us know what conversations you'd like us to have, and let us know who you'd like us to have here. That's been a mouthful, but this has been one of the most amazing sessions that we have. Liz, thank you so much. I would ask you to do the BN impersonation like Flacco. Make. But parting shot. I want you to just look in the camera and give a parting shot.
Which is my camera, no?
Your camera is that one right there. Yep.
All right. So my parting shot to the creatives. First, believe in your creativity. Umesikia wahua akisema, I didn't believe, I didn't think, nini. Believe, one. Then two, protect. Always find a way to protect your IP. Kama ni kuregister copyright, if it's having those contracts, because even friends can snooker you with an idea and run with it. So you have to protect yourself, be it business with your friend, with your buddies, make sure you take care of that. Then contracts, please soma the fine print. You have to read, because again, ignorance of the law is no defense. Kama msea kukushikia gun ukisign contract, my friend, it's valid, you're bound. So I think that's really important to understand. And then, when you're collaborating as well, always make sure you document everything. Hata kama ni minutes are enough to be a legally binding document. Yeah.
That has been an amazing session of the Baze Creators Garage. My name is Richard Njau, Digital Enabler. Thank you so much for watching. See you at the next one. I should